Well, in our What Do You Know segment this week, we've got a very special surprise because I know a lot of the younger boys and girls who watch Young Talent Time wouldn't have been a part of the Elvis Presley story as it was unfolding. Of course, I grew up with Elvis. I cut my teeth on Elvis Presley records. So we thought tonight in the What Do You Know segment, for all those kids who maybe don't know too much about the history of Elvis Presley, we will say for you, in our What Do You Know segment, a tribute to Elvis Presley. Here it comes. Whose voice has been heard by more people in the world than any other? Who has sold more than 500 million records? Who? Elvis Presley, the undisputed king of rock and roll. In 1953, a recent high school graduate and a $35 a week truck driver from Mississippi wandered into a record company in Memphis to make a solo record as a present for his mother. A year later, he made a professional record and was taken under the direction of Colonel Tom Parker, who remained his manager throughout his career. In 1956, Heartbreak Hotel became an instant hit. The Presley performance of it was to shake the record and entertainment industry as it hadn't been shaken before. The swivel-hip, leg-lashing rock and roll bomb sent teenage girls weeping and squealing. Hit single followed hit single, Hound Dog, Love Me Tender, All Shook Up, Jailhouse Rock, and many more. His uninhibited physical gyrations caused waves of outrage and hysteria around the world. Elvis was engulfed in controversy, and the parents of the hysterical teenage fans heaved a sigh of relief when in 1958, Elvis Presley was drafted into the US Army. He served with the Armored Division in Germany as a sergeant, but disappearing into the army at the height of his career had left his fans drooling for more. And upon his return 2 years later, the dynamic, easy-smiling young man was back, bigger than ever. He changed the shape of pop music, influenced the personal and entertainment tastes of teenagers, and opened the way for almost every teenage craze that zoomed to popularity in the 50s and early 60s. Once again, the Presley hit machine started with smash LPs, GI Blues, Blue Hawaii, Girls, 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 and also Elvis overpowered Hollywood with 33 motion pictures. Certainly few stars in the history of the music business behaved with such consistent good manners as Elvis Presley. Elvis remained himself despite his success. He lived a secluded life with a group of old friends from Tennessee who traveled with him. They said his life was lonely. He stayed away from the enthusiastic fans who would besiege him wherever he went. On August 16th, 1977, the King of Rock and Roll died at his home in Memphis, Tennessee at the age of 42. Millions of fans mourned him. 100,000 tourists trekked to Memphis at the time of his funeral to pay homage to the man who had affected the music and lifestyles of a whole generation. In 22 years, Elvis Presley had changed the entire course of international pop music and set the path it would take for the rest of our lifetimes. Elvis Presley, the undisputed king of rock and roll. Well, there we have it, a very brief history of the world's king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. But now, folks, it's request time with Karen and Stephen.
We're happy to hear from you, and we're happy to do what we do. We enjoy bringing joy to those who belong to the people requesting a song. And for this week's letter, Karen, it's over to you.
This week's letter comes from Ken Rutley, who lives in
I can see Gunnedeck,
New South Wales.
That's right.
Yes. He has requested that we dedicate a song to his father-in-law, William Hollingworth, who lives in Mullalee, New South Wales. Got a few good names here.
Big names.
Yeah.
Long.
Thanks for your letter, Ken, and thanks to all those other people who write in and make their requests. We love to hear from them, don't we?
Sure do, so keep on running.
Yeah. But now for Mr. Hollingworth.
Here's your request.
Wise men say surely to the sea.
Darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be.
Take my hand,
Take my whole life
too. Falling in love with you, for I can't help falling in love with you.
I'd like you to meet contestant number 2. This is Branko Tomazic, who's an accordionist, and he's competing for the Malaysian Airlines Systems Prize, or maybe even the Lowry organ, which would be a great prize to have too. The previous contestant sang that song called The Boogeyman. Remember the scary one? And I was just listening to this. Play this. Oh, doesn't that sound sinister, eh? Okay, Bronco, you can do a lot better than me. How long have you been playing this organ?
It's accordion.
Accordion, sorry. Yeah, I was thinking about the price.
5 years now.
5 years
Yeah.
already. You're a good-looking young fella, too. I hope you do well on Young Talent Time and in the entertainment business. Give him a big round of applause. Contestant number 2.
certainly chose the right melody because Dark Eyes is such an exciting melody. It gives an accordionist a chance to show off a lot of technique. He played nicely and he handled the tempo variations very well. We thought he has the potential to be a star of tomorrow, and Evie and I have given you 80 points, Branko.
And, of course, we've got to mention Ross Burton and his wonderful orchestra, because they do a great job backing these kids, don't they?
Every week, John, every week.
A couple of my very favourite Elvis Presley movies were a couple of the early ones. One of them was King Creole, and the other was, had a beautiful song in it that I love called Crawfish. And also a great movie was Jailhouse Rock. That was a lot of fun.
Yes.
And our set design department has worked overtime this week because they've recreated the set from the movie, and the young talent team are going to do it for you in our Elvis tribute tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're Jailhouse Rocking with the young talent team. Here they come.